What's going on, guys? So I have not had much time to fish recently. Haven't fished in nearly 2 weeks, I think. So I got about an hour today, so I'm excited with the possibility to try to get a fish on the end of my line. To do that though, we are going to try these Eurotackle Anisoptera lures. Really like these, fish these a bunch. This is probably my go-to panfish lure. It's a 1.5 inch, so we're going to put it on a probably a 1/32 ounce jig head. We're going to toss it out. This has produced pretty well for me in the past, so hopefully today, with not a lot of time, we can get some nice fish pretty quickly. And I'm going to be throwing that on my St. Croix Panfish Series rod, light power. So let's give it a shot, and let's try to get into some fish. Alrighty, so here is a better look at the lure. It's the Anisoptera 1/32 ounce jig head, and this is the bluegill pro color. Basically just kind of like a very clear silver with some blue and gold flake. So now I just like to kind of steadily retrieve this, twitch the rod tip a little bit here and there. Now let's hope there are some bluegills, maybe a small largemouth, maybe some mine cichlids, and let's get one. There was another bite. I'm getting plenty of bites. They're just all very small. And this is a fairly small lure, fairly small hook. And I have just been unable to hook up with them. I might have had probably about 10, maybe 12 hits. Oh, there's another one. Just super small. There we go, fish on. Little guy. Little tiny bluegill. Alright, so after probably well over a dozen hits, we finally hooked up with one. This one might actually even be a little bit bigger than the ones I've been getting bites from, because all the fish, at least close to shore, that I've seen so far are really small, and probably too small to get this small Anisoptera in their mouths. But we got one. Let me get the hook out here, and we'll get this guy back. Got him. Slightly bigger, I think. Maybe an inch bigger. Here we go, second fish of the day. Might be slightly bigger than that first, but it is just another fairly small bluegill. There we go. Ooh, this one's a little bit bigger. Maybe not. No, definitely not bigger. Just felt bigger on the hit. Alrighty, third bluegill of roughly the same size. I think all three have been females too. Rather dull in color, and they got a smaller ear flap right there. But yeah, hopefully we can find some bigger ones. Maybe a largemouth or a nice size mine. Something that can put up a little bit of a better fight. Yeah, so in the spring, this is a very nice lake for panfish. Some really big 8, 9, 10-inch bluegill come in, and for a couple weeks in March and April, just the entire shoreline is covered in beds, and there's dozens of really nice sized gills, and some mines and red ear sunfish as well, that you can just pick off really easily. So we're not there yet. Right now it's the middle of January, so hopefully there's maybe one nice fish in the shallows, but in a few months there should be plenty of really nice fish close to shore. Fish on. There is a largemouth. Not a big one, but I saw this guy hit. Nice and easy. Come here. This guy's not that big, but over a foot, I'd say. And a pretty chunky one, too. Nice size on him. So, okay fight on the lighter gear. Nice green color on him. Shines nicely in the sun. So we got one nice fish today, so let's get this guy back and let's mess around with some more panfish. Ooh, fish on. Oh, it's another largemouth. This one's smaller. Come on up here. Another nice little large. Alright, I think this one's slightly smaller, but this guy has some nicer colors on him. These Florida bass, they don't have that like the line along their body like the northern strain does. These guys usually just kind of more uniform in color. The northern strain has some nicer colors, but this one has a little bit of it. So nice little largemouth on the Anisoptera. We'll get it back and let's try to get a couple more. Alright, so we got a handful of smaller bluegills, a couple smaller but chunky largemouths. So nice little day of ultralight fishing. Believe it or not, we have a cold front coming through right now. I'm sure if you are not from South Florida, you're going to laugh at this. But right now it's probably in the low 70s. This morning it was, I think, 51 when I got in my car. So yes, that is a cold front for South Florida. So the fish might be, I don't know if they're slowing down or just not eating as much in the colder weather, colder water. But we picked up a couple. The Anisoptera is working. Now let's get a couple more and call it a day. Ooh, that's a nice fish. I saw that one hit. That's a Mayan. These guys fight really well. He's down in some algae, and that's usually when they stop fighting. When they get down in that algae, I don't know, they just wrap themselves up and they can't fight anymore. I thought this fight was going to be a lot longer. Alright, there we go. First Mayan cichlid of the day. Started out pulling really well. Thought it was going to be a great fight, but he wrapped himself up in some algae, and that was the end of that. There we go, fish on. Not that big. Little bluegill, kind of like those first couple I caught. Yeah, so small little guy or girl. I think it's probably a girl. But another tiny little bluegill. Super, super small mouth. Like no wonder they have a hard time fitting that lure and jig head in it. But we'll let it go, and we'll try to get one more. The action is good today, just the size on these guys is non-existent. So that is going to do it. The Eurotackle Anisoptera produced well today. It's been ripped up, but it's still holding strong, still producing some pretty good action. So what I really like about this lure is really the tail action. It's a very, very soft plastic. It does get broken up somewhat quickly, but the fish really seem to like it. It bounces up and down really nicely in the water, creates a lot of commotion, has all this little, I don't know, I guess ripples or whatever you want to call it. I think that traps some air bubbles, creates some more vibrations in the water. And out of all the soft plastics in Eurotackle's not Anisoptera collection, Micro Finesse collection, the Anisoptera is by far my favorite. I think it's a perfect size for panfish. Great action. This bluegill pro color is my favorite. Nice natural presentation. It sparkles really nicely in the sun. So I just really like it. I've been using it for a couple of years now, and it has never let me down. Always produces a lot of bites and catches a lot of fish. So unfortunately, not really too many big sizes on these panfish today. All the bluegills were relatively small, but hopefully in a couple months now, when the water warms up, these fish move in closer to spawn, we can get some big ones, and I will be throwing that Anisoptera and catching some big bluegill then. So hope you guys liked it, and I will see you next time.